Yeah.
I love me, baby, bust it open, bring it back. I'm the realest killer in it, I don't even need to act. Throwing up the racks, I'm just throwing up the racks, baby.
Yo, what's poppin', people? How's it going? And welcome back to Football Therapy with me, your host, Jan. And as always, I do hope you're doing well, friend. Genuinely do hope that. Welcome back to Chelsea News. Of course, Chelsea play in the London Derby. Chelsea beat, or should I say Tottenham v Chelsea tomorrow. I've done a match preview for that yesterday. Do go check it out if you want to. But this is a Chelsea News video. I've been going through the headlines. Lots of stuff being said about Chelsea at the moment. Of course, because the mood is positive. Talking points, and we're going to get into it today. We'll speak a little bit about a non-story that I want to clear up. What's going on in January, players that could go out, a bit more on Estevan Willian. Of course, Maresca's said Caicedo sits up at the Pantheon with Rodri and Declan Rice. And the story on Benoit Badiashile that is interesting, and I can't believe, really, that maybe my mind has been changed on this. And again, maybe ask me again after tomorrow, but I still want to speak about it today. Guys, thank you for joining me as always. If you want to support the dating, just drop a like, subscribe if you want to. Only if you want to, but if you choose to, you should hit the bell. Yeah, man, let's get into it. All right, dude. Let's get cracking. First of all, there was a story about Tosin Adarabioyo possibly going to West Ham in January. Of course, it looks like, how is Julian Lopetegui not sacked yet? I feel like he will go. There's talks about Tosin going on loan there. It's a nonsense, I think. I think there's been some sort of obviously there's a lot of nonsense in the media, but there's also been some counters. Tosin loves being at Chelsea. I think he's playing quite a bit. I think he knows he's not like a 69 million pound player like Fofana or a wonder kid like Cole Will. He's rotating in. He's part of the gang. He's being utilised midweek. He'll always have a chance. He'll always be available. He ain't going anywhere. So that's important to get that out of the way. Fabrizio Romano has spoken about Chelsea midfielders' January transfers. He confirmed that Enzo Fernandez is not for sale in the January transfer window, which is, good ultimately. He goes on to say he's an important part of the Chelsea project. We'll talk about players that can leave in just a moment. But Fernandez is good again. In his last 5 games for Chelsea, I think he has 8 goal involvements. And all I can say is hit the microphone. I applaud Enzo Maresca because he's finding a way to make it work in that left sort of number 8 advanced role. It's better for Enzo when he's got, for example, in my preview I said yesterday, I think Caicedo is going to start at right back again, invert, join Lavia, which will send Enzo Fernandez forwards, and he's getting better working that sort of left inside pocket, making late runs. Of course, he's an amazing pass master. He's been a huge topic of discussion of late. I said it on Matisse's channel, I think even if he doesn't make it at Chelsea, he'll make it in his career, Enzo Fernandez. He's got star quality, and if he was to leave Chelsea and it wasn't to work out at Chelsea, he would be a great success at either one of the Clasico clubs in Real Madrid and Barcelona, I think. But hopefully it looks like that's not going to be the case, and we found a way to make it work. Of course, he had some personal stuff going on in his personal life recently, the drama, the controversy in the summer. Looks like things are settling now, and we found a way to make it work, so that's positive. On exits, Romano, the transfer guru himself, does reference potential exits of Cesare Casadei, of course, young Italian midfielder, getting a lot of interest from Italian clubs. Of course, we got him from the Inter Academy, and then the following summer he captained the U20 Italy side to success, being the top goal scorer. Similarly with Andre Santos for the Brazilian youth team, both looking like intelligent acquisitions. Of course, he had a sort of fairly good loan the first 6 months with Maresca at Leicester last campaign. We brought him back to Chelsea, kind of ruined his season in my opinion. But, he's rated by people around European football, Casadei. He will represent an intelligent transfer for Chelsea. Similarly, Carney Chukwuemeka is another midfielder that could be leaving in January. A lot of Chelsea fans really like Carney. He is a very talented player, and I think Chelsea fans like him, but I think also football coaches, clubs know he's very good. The scouts look at him and they know his capacity and his ceiling is very high. Of course, we've got loads of attacking midfielder players. I'm not saying he's not good enough to play for Chelsea. And to be honest, guys, if you asked me, Jan, who would you rather keep, Carney Chukwuemeka or £30 million Kiernan Dewsbury Hall? And I've got nothing against Kiernan. It's just in terms of what I like in their profiles, I might be keeping Cassidy. But hey, you know, things are going so well for us. It's not like we're short on amazing players. We've got loads of great players. So I'll just, whatever, you know, let the sporting directors continue their plan. They're doing things right. Things are coming together. We've got exciting players to come in as well. So yeah, whatever. If it's got to go, it's got to go. I also personally think Ben Chilwell might go in January. He's fit. He's always been fit, and he just doesn't play. He's not included whatsoever. He's not being coached. I think that is because we're wrapping him up. I mean, he might play against Morecambe. Remember he came on against, who did we play? Was it Barnes? I can't even remember who we played. That the 5th division side or 4th division side, and he came on at the end. Barrow, was it? I can't remember. But he came on as a substitute appearance. Who knows? Maybe he'll do the same against Morecambe, the Shrimps, who of course we've drawn in the FA Cup. Yeah, but I think Chile's still got, you know, people will look at Ben Chilwell as a 27-year-old fit footballer who's won the Champions League. He will have suitors, and he's got a great psychological leadership sort of profile. He's a great lad. He's no trouble. I have a feeling he's been wrapped up for a January transfer. I think he should just go to Manchester United, join his best friend Mason Mount, and play as a left wing back under Ruben Amorim. I mean, for his sake, I'm thinking, like, it might suck for us who like Chilwell for him to go there and do well. But if you're thinking about him staying in the Premier League, maybe keeping a shout to, you know, Thomas Tuchel's the England manager, bro. Do you know what I mean? Like, he can, if Thomas Tuchel plays a back three for England and Chilwell's playing for Amorim and as a left wing back in a back three system, his England career could be back. From his perspective, and again, he's besties with Mason Mount, and of course, he'll get paid the money at Man United. That's what he should try and engineer for his sake, I think. All right, in terms of talent coming to Chelsea, lots of stories popping off at the moment. Mears again, she's sitting on the speaker right there. Courtside talking about Esteval Willian, that amazing player. You know, we had big man Ronaldo saying he's a young player, he's very talented, he's kind of like Lamine Yamal. He will be a very big star in football. He's very promising, and he's just 17, and he thinks he'll play for Palmeiras at the Club World Cup, then join Chelsea. Of course, there was speculation that he might even be able to be registered for the Club World Cup to play for Chelsea. Maybe him and Kendry Páez. Of course, since we locked down both the signings of the 16-year-olds at the time, Páez and Esteval Willian, obviously all the hype has been heavily weighted in Esteval Willian's favour. He is the superstar. He scored that world-class free kick a couple of days ago to make a 2-1 win for Palmeiras to keep them in the title race. This child, bro, he is a shining superstar. Like, as much as we love, you know, Neto, he's probably maybe the most accomplished winger at Chelsea. As much as everyone loves Noni, who's trending in the right direction, and Maresca's getting a lot out of him. Once Esteval joins Chelsea, I mean, obviously he probably want to play in that Cole Palmer position. Maybe he'll be the legitimate understudy to Cole Palmer, which, you know, you can't just necessarily guarantee an 18-year-old from Brazil to just start for Chelsea. But I don't know. It could be amazing, this kid. It's confirmed we bought him for a fee for around £29 million, which sounds not like much money. I thought it was more than that. Still, very, very good. And yeah, nice to hear the Phenom talk about Esteval coming to Chelsea and just tearing it up. But I guess he's going to play for Palmeiras in the Club World Cup, which would be very interesting if we come up against him. Of course, we haven't drawn them in the group stage. I was hoping we drew Fluminense, Thiago Silva's team, but we didn't. But who knows? Maybe we'll be playing against Thiago Silva later or Esteval Willian later. Exciting. All right, some other stuff I want to rip through here, guys. Of course, making headlines, Enzo Maresca's comments on Moises Caicedo, comparing him to Rodri and Declan Rice. He says he is for sure at that level. He is for sure, no doubt. Undoubtedly, unfortunately, Rodri is injured, undoubtedly as well, with a knee injury. But Declan is playing. I think Moises can sit at the table with that midfielder. Because of the Romeo Lavia injury and Enzo Fernandez moment, we use Moises as a holding midfielder. We used him as a right back last game, and in the future we can expect to see him there for sure. This is something I spoke about yesterday. he came to Chelsea, Enzo Maresca, and he planned on playing Caicedo as an inverting right back, but because of the injury, because of Enzo taking a while to settle and the injury to Lavia, he had to play him as a sort of holding midfielder. But he thinks he can get much more out of him in terms of how much Chelsea play better with that. Look, he's also 3 years younger than Declan Rice. Declan Rice is next month turns 26, so he's nearly 4 years younger than Declan Rice, and Rodri's a lot older, isn't he? Rodri is 28, so he's a lot younger than both of them, and he sits at the table with both of them. I'm not saying Moises Caicedo is necessarily as good or better than Rodri, because Rodri's very, very important, but in terms of what he's got in his game, Caicedo already, I think by the time he's Declan Rice's age, he could be the best central midfielder all round in the Premier League, possibly the world. I mean, he did cost a Premier League record fee, so let's be real here. He's not like some Renato Vega guy, but he could live up to the hype and more, basically. And it's very, very interesting to hear him being, I think he was when he went to Brighton, he went on loan to Belgium, and apparently he was sad and cried and called his family, wanted to go back to Ecuador, and it took him a while to settle. He did finally settle, and then the Arsenal interest and the Chelsea interest, and he wanted to come to Chelsea. He came to a sort of a struggling, dysfunctional Chelsea, but it seems like, he's another year older now. He's 22, he's settled, his child is born, so he's become a father. Chelsea are good. He scored an absolute screamer at the end of last season. Chelsea are back in Europe. He's got friends. He's settled. I think now we're going to see the super trajectory of Moises Caicedo, and he has every right to sit at the table with the best central midfielders in world football. All right, so we are going to talk a little bit about Benoit Badiashile. I want to end on here. An article of Court Offside, an exclusive from them. Eurogiants in talks to sign Chelsea star that Maresca would prefer to keep. Now, yeah, I'll give you my thoughts on Badiashile, because he was being sort of lumbered with Badiashile and Disasi by me as well as everyone else. The Monaco boys, the underperformers, the burdens in a way, the frustrating. Let's just see what this is saying. Chelsea defender Benoit Badiashile is facing an uncertain future at the club as the two major European teams show interest in him for January. Now, sources with a close understanding of the situation have informed Court Offside, which is the publication here, that Marseille has held initial talks over signing the France international, while he's also on Juventus's list of potential targets. And Juventus no good defenders historically. However, Chelsea manager Maresca is understood to rate Badiashile highly and would like to keep the faith in him, and believes he's yet to show his best form for the Blues. Firstly, Marseille, they're sort of built a bit of a super team at the moment with De Zerbi. I don't know where they are in League 1. I think they started well, but they might have dropped off a little bit. Oh, they're second. I mean, they're well off second. It's just so Ligue 1. So Ligue 1. They are 8 points off Marseille, of Paris Saint-Germain. They do have a... Mia, chill out. Sorry, the cat's attacking my router cable. They got a game in hand, so they could be 5 points off them. But they're a good team, basically. A really good team in France, looking at Benoit Badiashile. And of course, Juventus are a big side. They are in the title race in Italy is absolutely insane at the moment. Why can't I just write? I can't write anything. Yeah, so let's have a look at Juventus are 6th. So yeah, they've dropped off massively. They do have a game in hand of top, which would pay them 5 points behind as well. Atalanta top, very exciting. The point being, Juventus are a serious big institution. Looking at Benoit Badiashile. Now, we need to remember that when Benoit Badiashile joined Chelsea, he looked really quite good. We called him Big Ben. We all got terribly excited. And we thought we had this, big unit that could score the odd goal, but could spray it around a little bit. And then his form dropped off. He had some horrifying performances here and there. And he's kind of winning the streets back a little bit again. He will play against Tottenham, I'm pretty sure, in the absence of Wesley Fofana. I think he'll be the right centre-back. There will actually be the sort of right of a back three if Caicedo plays there and inverts, which will mean you'll have sort of a left-footed, almost right-back kind of guy there, which would be interesting. But his passing is excellent. And he does, like the other day, he was the best centre-back of the lot when he played. And I don't want to lose him now. Maresca is finding his way, generally. And if you probably asked him, he'd probably say he doesn't want to lose anyone, including Disasi, because of these midweek games and stuff. But as fitness is more conditioned into next season, touch wood, we're in the Champions League, so therefore first-team players have to play a bit more. Maybe then you trim a bit of fat and you utilise a Josh Achampong for a rotational player, and a high-profile player like Disasi gets sold because he just doesn't have the high-profile minutes. And you keep a Benoit Badiashile. So actually, if he has a howler tomorrow against Tottenham, the reactionary thing will be like, all right, get him out. We were right to believe in him. But as things stand, I kind of want to keep him. And he's not that old. He's younger than, I think he's younger than Disasi, who's a bit more seasoned. He's 23 years old, bro. He's 23 years old, Badiashile. So he could play football for another, 12 years. Do you know what I mean? And in the next 5 years, he could develop into an amazing centre-back. I don't know. I feel like my opinion's changed with him. If I could sell one, I'd sell Disasi, I guess, even if he can play right back in a pinch. But I think Chelsea are trying to solve that more sensibly with buying proper players for that area. And again, if Caicedo's starting to play right back, if Reece James eventually comes back one day, if Gusto, then maybe we're okay, And then you've got Vega and Cucurella on the left-hand side. And you can even play Badiashile as a left back as well. So yeah, I'd keep Badiashile. And I think I've changed my opinion on it. But let me know what you think. Please do comment down below. I'm very keen to hear your thoughts on this, guys. So please leave them down in the comments. Thank you as always for liking and subscribing. And I can't wait to see you back here soon. Peace.